is your one-stop shop to learning how to use the Super Bowler Smash for 3 stars in a fully accurate and condensed guide. Super Bowler Smash is one of the easiest attacks to build up an army since it only requires 4 Super Bowlers and 5 healers at all town hall levels that can use it. You can bring in the use of a Quad Quake, but it's very situational, and in the CC, it's pretty standard, though the spell can be fluctuated depending on your town hall level. And of course, base reading is going to be one of the most important things that you are going to need to do. Typically, in terms of siege machines, the Flinger is going to be the one that you're always going to be choosing. But you can also use other siege machines, such as the Siege Barrack, if you don't have access to the Flinger. Just keep in mind that you're probably not going to get as much value, but also you can use the Wall Wrecker in super niche cases where the town hall is stuck in an island. Otherwise, you want to make sure that the Super Bowlers are getting to the core. The Eagle and the Town Hall are 2 of the biggest defenses you need to remove. And if you can remove them from the core of the base, that helps you a lot. Try to move yourself into the core if they're spaced apart. That way it makes it a lot easier. But keep in mind that if you can't go all the way across with your Super Bowlers, it might be better just to use a different strategy on that base. Sometimes against ring bases specifically, you can use the Flinger and the Warden Walk together to where you can use the Barbarian King on the other side with witches to create the other side of the funnel, to have the Super Bowlers go straight through. So that gives you another really good option against a very specific base. Otherwise, the Royal Champion is always being used from the same side you start your Warden Walk. So that way, you get a lot more value and a lot more support as you clean up the back end. From your base plan and army comp, let's move into the Grand Warden Walk. In terms of this, use it in a smaller area. Since this is not a queen charge, all you're doing is you are just allowing your Grand Warden to funnel the outside of the base. You're not going for the interior side. On the same point, you're not going to use this in a big area because more than likely you're going to miss key buildings for the funneling that's going to cause your Super Bowlers to go in the wrong direction and scatter all around. So use them in a smaller area, speed them up with cheaper units. Otherwise, that should allow you to create one side of the funnel, which is going to make it way easier for your Super Bowlers to enter in. Now, to make your funnel even better, you have got the Flame Flinger. The job of it is to remove another area of the base, typically on the other side of your Grand Warden Walk funnel, in order to make sure that you're cutting off that side too. Usually in this case, you're going to be bringing in the Witches and the Barbarian King to clear out the regular trash buildings. This way you have a clear funnel set, not just from the interior, but also from the exterior. Now, the other thing that you'll need to make sure that you consider is the fact that there could be Teslas or skeleton traps towards the outside. So be very careful, use balloons to look for any of those and to pull any of those traps so you can deal with them early. Otherwise, be very careful of expos since they're going to do a massive amount of damage to your Flame Flinger if left ignored. Try to go in for a multi or single Inferno or even the Scatter Shot. These are typically what I would recommend. The Town Hall and the Eagle, they're nice, but you don't necessarily need to go for them. Otherwise, this should allow you to create the other side of the funnel, which allows you to sandwich your Super Bowlers right in between both funnels. Following your 2 funnels, you've got the Super Bowlers entering into the base. Typically, I recommend using a Super Wall Breaker alongside either a Yeti or a Ice Golem to provide tankage just a little bit for your Super Bowlers to work themselves in. This is where you'll use a rage spell and your jump spells to move across. If you're hitting an anti-3, usually the Eagle Artillery is what you'll be entering into. But if you're dealing with something like a box base or a ring base, the Eagle and the Town Hall are usually in the core, makes it very easy for you to go directly to it. Otherwise, you are just allowing yourself to move all the way into the core. You're going to use a rage spell within that core, and you're going to be doing a ton of damage with the Super Bowlers, and just let them go ham. Use the Grand Warden ability as well to protect not only the healers, but also the Super Bowlers as they work themselves through the core. In terms of the back end though, you've got your Royal Champion. You are going to be using her on the same side that you started your Warden Walk. That way, you can let the Hog Riders and the Flinger do its own thing on the other side, and just have the Royal Champion help support where you started that Warden Walk, since the Warden didn't clear many structures. So that allows your royal champion to help support that side and makes it easier for her to stay alive and clean up the rest of the base. So now let's give you a complete replay of exactly how this is used from beginning to end of this attack. Now, if you're interested in seeing some more attacks as Super Bowlers, I'd actually recommend checking out my top 3 Town Hall 14 video and my top 3 Town Hall 13 video. I'd highly recommend checking those out since Super Bowlers work incredibly well at these 2 Town Hall levels, and I'd highly recommend you guys give them a watch. And I'll be catching you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.